All right, I got a bleach battle between Espada number two, Baraggan, and Robert. He's the one who shot um Kiraku in the eye. Alright, during the first Quincy invasion. Alright, so these two are gonna go to battle against one another. Cause in their groups, they're like the older gentlemen in their group. They have some seniority, so we're gonna have them fight one another. The fight will take place in the world of the living. All right. And so raw strength actually goes to Baraggan. He was the king of Wakamundo. He fought against Squad 2 Captain Soyphone and her lieutenant and a Vizard. Robert did fight against Shinsui. He was strong, but Shinsui wasn't going all out. Striking power, lifting power. When I'm looking at both of these guys, I'm like, they're not really boxers, but Baraggan, he carries a big ass axe, so he has to be able to wield that shit, right? I give it to, Baraggan, physical strength. Speed, I give it to Baraggan as well. He was able to sneak up on Swordphone, right? Now she was still able to get back, but he tapped her shoulder real quick. He didn't think he could move like that. I see the fight between him and him being like that. Robert's not gonna know, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, what? Wait, what?" Durability wise, Baraggan. Baraggan survived Soyphone's Bankai attack, right? That ain't what killed him, remember? It was his own power that killed him, right? His own Respira killed him. It wasn't the power of her bazooka cannon, right? It wasn't that. We got endurance going to Baraggan as well. In a long drawn out fight, he wins. In just like this guy Robert, he ain't fighting anybody for a long time. We got the intelligence. I think Robert might be a little bit smarter, slightly smarter than Baraggan. Baraggan used to be the king of Wakamundo, but then he got his throne taken from him, right? Now Aizen's really smart, right? He's actually a intelligent person, right? That's how we describe Aizen when we look at this guy. He's really somebody of intellect. When you think of Aizen, you think of intellect. When you think of Baraggan, you think leader, but you don't think, you know, most intelligent leader. And then Robert, he's not a leader either, but he's one of the smart boys on the squad. So we give him that. Now, experience-wise, we'll give it to Baraggan. He was leader of Wakamundo, king of Wakamundo for I don't know how long, but he was, you know. And I don't think Robert was a part of the first Quincy invasion, with all those other ones. I think U-Haul was the only one that, was said to, come back, you know. Um, Close skills go to Baraggan, range skills go to Baraggan. Robert has his pistol, right? He likes to shoot with it. Pop, pop, pop. He's not really touching people like that. Now, when it comes to range skills, Robert does have pistol, right? But then the Respira, he can basically cause that shit to decay. Because bullets, like if like you leave a bullet out, right, and it just, it just goes into the ground, it rusts away, it decays, over a span of time, right? It might take a while, but it does, right? But he accelerates that process. Um, so that shit's not gonna really, be a factor after a while. Um, Recovery, I'm giving that shit to Baraggan. Hacks, I'm giving it to Baraggan. Right? He can cause everything around him to deteriorate. His aspect of death was aging, so he can cause anything to age, right? Because everything ain't gonna be around forever. So this guy's body, he ain't gonna be around forever. So he just accelerates that. Boom, and this guy's just gone, right? After some time, he can still evade the Respira's, because it comes at a certain rate, right? It expands at a certain rate. So he's gonna be running from that, but he ain't gonna be able to attack. So when he comes into attack, he's gonna be taken over by it, and he's gonna die. So Barragan actually has the advantage in the environment too. Barragan wins this shit low difficulty, y'all. The Quincy's are cool and all, but Robert's not one of those ones that's really going in like that. Um, Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, and be cool for on the corner.